Hey guys, this is Tony with Inner Geek Designs. Today I'm back with another video. Today I want to talk about some tips about logo design and what to do, what not to do, especially related to print design. You know, some tricks that will help make sure your logo looks good when you're printing it. Maybe some do's, maybe some don'ts. If you like this, if you learned something, like and subscribe, and let's just hop into it. So here we are in Affinity. I just want to go over some logos that I pulled out from archives that I have that we can walk through of, you know, stuff I did that worked, stuff I did that maybe didn't work, that was just asked for the customer and that's what they wanted. But overall, I just want to go through my logo first so we can just have a good base understanding. So over here, I got this word mark. As you can see, I only got really 3 colors. That's the max colors I would do for any logo. 3 colors, you're done. Cut it off. After that, chief. You can do gradients, you can do like stuff like that, but I would always suggest, especially when you're considering print design, use soft or subtle gradients. The more drastic you are, the harsher it's going to look when you get toner down, or if you get ink down, or if you're doing a UV print. It's going to just not translate well to the print process. So that's why you also see all I'm using right here is flat colors. One other thing I would always suggest, this is just general across the board with logo design it in black and white first. As you can see over here, I have the black and white version of my skull. I also have the full color version of my skull. It's not that drastically different, but I needed to make sure it worked in one color before I started playing around with color to give it that personality that it has. Another thing I want to point out is contrast. Contrast of light to dark, color tones. So as you can see, we didn't put this light blue right next to the dark blue where it would actually matter. We do have it here, but this is such a good separation between this white and everything that it gives room to breathe, that it is actually giving it space to become its own color. Now, say if we took this blue and we put it on where this eye is, like if we could do that right now so we can see what this would look like. Let's go get that blue, and there we go. Now, as you can see, this eye reads much more easier versus this eye. It also helps with print. This could also cause issues when printing. It could cause... A printer might interpret this as being different colors, and it might be harder to read. So by creating this, I am also creating a more dynamic contrast for a printer. One thing I would also cautious about this is I know that this color range between these two colors could cause what is called trapping. Trapping is an optical illusion, and it is where color has shifted, but it's not truly shifted, it just looks like it's shifted. And most printers have the ability to stop tracking, have tracking adjustments. Usually happens, the best way I can tell this with the contrast is red text or black text on a red background. That level of contrast will guaranteed every time cause trapping. Alright, now that we went through that, let's go through some options that are maybe some let's not do these. These are all logos. I will throw myself under the bus that I did, but these are all recommendations a customer had. I tried to talk them out of this, try to give them other suggestions. This is where we ended up. This is where they were happy, so sometimes you gotta do that as a designer. Just sell it to get money in your pocket. Let's first start with this Vega one. Overall, I really dig this logo. My issue is the SL. When considering logo design, there's 2 small factors I'd always consider when designing a logo. A social media icon, and a business card. These are the 2 smallest versions of the logo you will ever give a customer to ever be produced. Usually for a social media icon, I'll build a different icon for them. So like this one, I actually made these Vega strikes as its own logo or its own icon. That was their social media. One thing that I don't like is this SL will get lost. Even just this far away, we were at 34%, it's starting to get lost. Consider that when you're designing elements, that how small am I getting? And always design to a social media icon. That's probably your smallest you'll ever go. Can I still see the full logo at that? If it works there, it'll work at a business card, work at a letterhead, work at whatever other size you need to do. This one, let's go through the second one. I want to talk about general clarity. General clarity of a logo. Can I read this from a small size? Can I read this from a distance? Can I read it just in general? I think overall this clarity is fine, but not perfect. Looking at this percentage of the screen size right now, the crosshairs get lost, the detail of the skull gets lost, and it kind of just all gets muddy right here. Another thing I'm looking for clarity on is this font right here. it's getting lost in the background. It's hard to read. The gradient's a mess on it. Again, this is why we go back to so many colors. We only go to few colors. We make our gradients minimized. We do that. We're good. We're copacetic and we're kosher. Try to keep that and make sure it happens. This one, I want to talk about this one. Similar subject matter. We have stuff that's going to get small, but we have really bad contrast on this one. When looking at this, you can just tell all these colors are similar color family. The yellow is pulling a lot of the blue. The orange is pulling a lot of the blue. The orange is pulling a lot of the yellow. They're all pulling from each other to make this harmonious color palette, which looks really good, but it's really hard to read at the same time. This is something we need to consider as designers. That have we gone too harmonious with our colors? Could we have put a different color in the background to make these pop more? Like, what if we just made this a black? What if we just made it a dark gray or a darker orange that pulled in from gray to a little bit, just to make them pop harder? That's a possibility. Also, Fest would get lost a little bit. Also, these little doohickeys down here will get lost as it gets shrunk. The sun rays will not read as well as it gets shrunk down. All just general considerations to think about as you're doing your logo design. Let's go through what works with other logos. Here's some other logos I did. Just let's walk through these, why these work in all applications. Let's go through this Kodos logo first. Remember how we talked about soft and subtle gradients? Those can work as an additional color if you need them. Here we have a soft, subtle gradient on the Kodal and the leaf of the O. We also have a core icon we can pull from and use for social media icons. So for them, we use this leaf just as our social media icon, just to stand out and have some character. Also down here, this oils. It's small, but it's not going to get lost when we shrink it down. It has such a high contrast on this white that it'll stand out as we shrink it down for a business card or for a social media icon. We don't have to worry about that. This Gotham Games and Comics, similar subject pattern. We got 3 colors, check, good. We've got bold fonts. We got strong bodied fonts that are going to stand out when we shrink them down. We don't have an icon. This one didn't need it, so we just have a good clean text. Easy to read. We got some fun stuff going on over here with the T into the H, some little mirror matching there, but overall pretty solid, pretty easy to go, just simple, clean. This Hooks and Harmony. Let's go through what's going on here. This is a logo that was given to me. It was AI generated, and this said, this is what we want. Can we do something similar to this? I said, it's gonna take a lot of cleanup, but let's go through it. Let's try to make it work. So I did. We had to get rid of a lot of the AI-isms and try to clean up and try to make it work as an actual logo. It's not perfect, but it works for the customer. One thing we have to consider, we have this Hooks and Harmony entertainment around the circle. Look at the contrast. Look at the boldness of the font. This is going to stand out even when we shrink it down. It's going to still be legible. We got this little element that's over here. That's not the best, not the worst. We did break our color rule here, but it's not overwhelming. And look at our gradients. Very soft, very subtle. We're going from orange to green over here. That's a drastic color shift to do. So in here is actually 4 colors. We have a dark orange, a light orange, a yellow, into a green. That's shifting the color to make sure there's no muddy or brown or an ugly color that's getting mixed. I'm softening the color as I get to that. And I'm actually taking a trick that I use a lot, is this orange and this green, 2 drastically different colors on the color spectrum. But in between here, this is orange, or this yellowish orange, is starting to pull a little bit of that green into it. So as I go down to the yellow spectrum, I'm pulling in that green so it softens the color. Same thing on this gradient here. Down here, this is just straight blues that are stacked on top of each other. Another way to get away with that trick. But the best thing about this logo is I can take this logo and still simplify it down to its core elements, and it works in one color. And that's the key to try to do this. Build a one color, then you can add the color add to it. I hope you guys learned something. I hope you got something out of it. If you did, like and subscribe, and leave a comment down below about what design topics you would like. I'll see you guys next one. Bye.